Now, the first step in solving our problems, the first step is to understand, to change the future, is to understand where we came from in the past. Let's go back and look at history. You see, the Tea Party began when the actions of an overreaching and oppressive government, unfair taxation, violations of the British Constitution, and unfair manipulation of private business. That's something you don't hear much in the textbooks. But one of the things that happened back in the 1700s is that the government tried to manipulate private business. Does anybody feel like history is repeating itself today? Absolutely. Well, these actions led to the citizens taking matters into their own hands. Are we not at the same point today? Absolutely. We realize that taxing and spending and an overreaching government and an ignorance and an abhorrence of our Constitution is a symptom of a greater illness that plagues America today. And this is what I want to talk to you about. This is the theme, and I'm going to put my notes away because I can't stand holding them and sitting still in the first place. We have a problem, folks, and the problem is that we have lost our personal freedoms, our liberties, and our inalienable rights. Now, we lost them because we gave them away. We did. We stopped valuing personal freedom. We stopped putting a value on liberty. We stopped putting a value on unalienable rights. And because we stopped valuing it, the government decided, hey, if you don't want it, I'll take it. And that's exactly what's happened over the past 135 years in Arkansas. They've taken what we didn't value. And it's time that we take that back. And the only way we're going to take it back is when we treat it more importantly than they do. I'd ask you a question. We have men and women all across the world right now fighting and defending our freedom and liberty. Is the freedom and liberty they're willing to put their lives in the line for worthy of the value that you placed on it? Because if it's not, then their sacrifice is in vain. What would you tell the soldier in Iraq that is being shot at, that is being sleep out in the desert, that is sacrificed, that has given up their freedom, the time with their family, the time with their friends, the time to live in the greatest country in the world? What are we telling them when we give away just a little bit of our freedom for the government to do something that really we should be doing? We give away our freedom a penny at a time because we don't want to be involved in that kind of stuff. When we allow the government to buy things that we want today and put a burden on not only our children, but our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. If freedom and liberty means nothing to you, we'll lose it. And that's what's happened in America today. That's what happened in Arkansas today. And that's what we've got to get back. So if we're going to shrink, if we're going to reduce the size of government, if we're going to rein in what we call oppression, if we're going to do that, the first thing we have to do is start the process of reevaluating and putting value on the very freedoms and liberties we gave away. We must do it, because if we don't, government grows. If we don't, taxation grows. Every time we give $1 to the federal government, you give your freedom and liberty. See, you exchanged it. Every time you earn a paycheck, you exchanged your time. I would rather go golfing, fishing, hunting, those things, but I give that thing that I want to do up so that I can earn a paycheck, so I can provide for my family, so I can buy those nice things. When I allow my government to take that away from me, they're taking from what I want to do with my money and doing what they want to do with money. But more importantly, they're taking away the freedom and liberty I exchanged for that money to exchange it for programs and things that I don't believe in. We've got to change it. So my challenge to you is really simple, folks. Elections have consequences. 2012 is coming. Are you ready? Are you ready to elect people not because they're our best friends, not because we went to school with them, not because, guess what, they work in the same business than I and they'll give me a good tax break. But it's time that we elect people that have the principles and values that, number one, created this nation, and number two, that are needed to restore this nation. That's what we must do. I promised that after April the 15th, after today, my number one focus is going to be the 2012 elections. Are you in the game? Are you ready to take back our country? Are you ready to defend our freedoms and liberty? Are you ready to treat your personal freedom, your liberty, your inalienable rights as it's the most precious thing on earth? Yes? Then it's time to elect some good people. Anything that we can do to help, any Tea Party organization represented here, please get involved. Please tell your friends to get involved. We can't afford to lose in 2012. Thank you and God bless.